Okay. So my name is Frida Miller. I'm a master's student in nursing leadership, and I'm a practicing RN. My project today is about our quality improvement project, Restarting Sustainable Maternity Tours. For anyone unfamiliar with maternity tours, they're an industry standard at hospitals with an obstetric unit. They function to alleviate prospective parent anxiety by familiarizing them with the amenities, space, and guidelines at the hospital where they're considering having their baby. During the pandemic, tours completely halted, eventually moving online. And when visiting resumed, we had lost a lot of the infrastructure that had supported tours. So both the back-end staff that had managed registration and the front-end experienced staff who had previously led tours. Patient and provider demand led us to reimagine the program as we were restarting. So since we had to build the program from scratch, we were able to build a more inclusive and more sustainable program than we had before. Our setting is a regional level 2 maternity center. We average about 150 deliveries a month, and we service about 8 to 18% primarily Spanish speakers. Previously, we had never offered tours in other languages, and so a big part of improving the quality of this program was incorporating Spanish language tours. I would love to talk more about the process that we used. My poster for this conference focuses more on the development of the program, and it happened in 3 phases. It began in June of 2023 with planning. In this phase, we were doing research about sister institutions, recruiting for bilingual staff, and standardizing the tour materials. We moved into trials in September, and we launched the full program in December of 2023. Since the focus of this presentation is on program development, our results are really the products and materials and system that we produced. So these are the documents. We have a self-scheduling website through REDCap, a resource binder that includes all the things that tour guides need, patient brochures, marketing materials in Spanish and English. We trained a total of 9 guides, 5 of whom are bilingual, and we collected QI data via REDCap registration, participant, and staff surveys. So the system for monitoring QI has been set up, even though I'm really just presenting on the program. One of the things I'm most excited about as a practicing provider is that I get to see this program in use in my community. We continue to collect data and iterate on a quarterly basis to improve and optimize the utilization of staff and satisfaction for patients. I'm collecting and disseminating further work on this program for other institutions that are facing similar problems, or for groups that are trying to expand programs to a more diverse audience. I hope to work it into a publishable paper using the Squire 2.0 framework because I know many institutions are struggling with similar problems. I hope to develop our virtual tour program as well to further expand accessibility and reach. Thank you for allowing me to present.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There's some additional materials if people have questions.
Okay, thank you. What?
Did you mention, I can't remember, did you mention how frequently these occur and how many participants you get or want each cycle?
So that was a big question in setting this up. I do have the data right here. You know, we've only been running it for 1 quarter since marketing materials developed. But it was one of those things that since our area is growing so rapidly, when we started advertising it, I wasn't really sure how many people would want to do tours. What we've noticed is that you can see it jumps right up. Previously, we were offering, you know, maybe 8 or 11 participants over 4 tours in a month. So they were very small groups. Once we kind of expanded the word, we've jumped up to tour groups of 10 to 15. So part of the quality improvement is optimizing the amount of people in a tour. So I watch registration, and right now we're doing 4 tours a month, but really we're probably going to bump it up to 6, including 1 Spanish tour and maybe even 2. to have the right number of people.
I imagine part of sustainability is protecting nursing time to do this. And so how is the institution kind of recognizing that contribution by protecting nursing time to do these tours?
You know, we are very lucky in that we do have a supportive leadership team. This falls into marketing as well as into nursing and patient education. And so there are a lot of business arguments for doing tours because it brings people into a hospital system. It drives a lot of customer loyalty because it just is so satisfying. The way that we have it protecting nursing time is that we do our tours off shift. So you are not necessarily taking care of any patients. Your job when you come in to do a tour is really only to do the tour. And the way in which our leadership is supportive is that as long as you don't go into overtime, you are paid for that time you're there.
Well, but that brings, I know it's the end of Q&A, but it brings the question, do you know if most of the individuals have completed who've completed the tours the liver at your institution?
Almost all of them do.
Okay. And then there's one, there's another question in the chat that
I'll answer it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to Q2.